Isn't that just the most opening... Like, I completely fucked up the intro, sorry, but... Isn't that just, like, the most awesome opening that you've ever seen in a Yu-Gi-Oh! Game? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is. So, hello guys, this is me, DavePink243, and welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelists of the Roses. This is one of my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Games for just how unique it is. But, basically, I know I haven't played, Forbidden Memories yet, but that is... Like, this is technically the sequel to that game. As through Duels of the Roses Japanese title, it's basically the sequel to Forbidden Memories, but you don't exactly need to play Forbidden Memories to understand what's going on here. So, this game is cool for a lot of reasons, but, I think I'll let the game speak for itself, right here, right now. So, let's start a new game. Because we're actually going to get to what this game is about. The British Empire in the 1400s. The War of the Roses, a power struggle between the houses of Lancaster, Red Rose, and York, White Rose, to decide a royal successor, was nearing an end. With the Yorkists well in the lead, the reign of Richard III was but a step away. And in France, Yugi, or Henry Tudor, as he is called in this game, is the last Lancastrian heir. And then he was being forced to live a life of exile. The Lancastrian forces were rendered powerless by ancient cards of sorcery wielded by Seto and his 7 followers, who known as the 7 Rose Crusaders, served under the flag of Lord Crawford, a powerful Yorkist nobleman. Lacking a duelist to champion their cause, defeat was imminent for the Lancastrians. In England, duel card games were still at their fledgling stage. Thus, the Lancastrians had to look elsewhere for a duel master capable of facing the Rosencrews in battle. With this in mind, Margaret Mai Beaufort of Lancaster secretly requested a High Druid to summon a duelist from another age, which is basically us. So we're kind of teleported to, well, we're about to see right here, Stonehenge. Yeah, actual Stonehenge. So before I go on any further, yes, this is based off of real life events. The War of the Roses was in fact the thing that happened in the 1400s. So yeah, we have all these Yu-Gi-Oh! Characters kind of like, posing as like actual historical figures. And it's really cool. But yeah, this is cool. This game's cool as a Yu-Gi-Oh! Game for several reasons, but I'll get to that when the time comes. Maybe I should, okay, I'm not sure how loud the game is on, like, within the recording. I did do a test recording beforehand, but that was just with the title screen. So I don't know how loud the game is compared to me. But I'm sure that future me will figure out how to audio balance these things. So we actually have a character who's in Forbidden Memories here, although he's undertaken a different form. Still, he looks pretty much the same as he did in Forbidden Memories, he's just kind of like a different character. So, Simon. So, for those of you who played Forbidden Memories, you should know who this guy is. I'm not going to read the dialogue, mostly because that would just take me way too long, and the intro is kind of lengthy, so I want to get things going. So basically, he's the one that summoned us. And he's wanting us to defeat the evil forces of Rosencruz, which this guy's full name is... Rosencruz's actual full name is Christopher Rosencruz, I think. And he is posed by Seto in this game, Seto Kaiba. Which, as you may know from the original Yu-Gi-Oh! DM anime, he was basically the best fucking character in that series. And yes, apparently we're supposed to be the Rose Duelists, and yeah. So yeah, he's Simon, a High Druid and Servant of Lancaster. So, he's going to ask for our name here. Basically, whatever name you put in, and capital and lowercase letters in the front do matter. Basically, whatever name you put in depends on what set of decks Simon can give to you. Now, thankfully, my name of DavePing243 actually gives me a pretty good deck to start with. And no, it's not the one that you're thinking of. There is one specific deck that a lot of people have used in their Let's Plays of this game, for obvious reasons, but I'm not going to be using that one. Mostly because it's overdone. And the one I'm going to be picking is actually, as far as I know, it has never really been picked before, so I think it's going to be interesting. And it actually has a few spicy cards in it. Either way, though, I'm going to put in my internet username, DavePing243. Where's the P? Okay, there. I N G 2 4 3. So DavePing243. Yes, a fine name indeed, if I say so myself. So yes, we're in the year of 1485. And we're at Stonehenge. So yeah, Simon's giving all this, like, kind of like exposition and whatnot. So yeah, right now the winning side is that of the Yorkists, so the Lancastrians are in trouble right now. And so yes, there are two different kinds of rose cards. There are red rose cards, which are from the Lancastrians, and the white rose cards, which are from the Yorkists. And there's 8 of each color, so in total that makes 16 rose cards. What makes you think I would want to help you, like, immediately? Like, you haven't really done anything to convince me to join your cause. You just kind of, like, summoned me out of my own will, from my own time period, no less. And now you're asking me to go and help you when I have no reason to? Well, okay, let's listen to what what else this guy has to say first before making the final judgment. Yes, dueling is different from how it is in the actual card game, and... well, I'll get to that when we do get into a duel, like Simon does, well, we're going to get to that pretty soon, but yeah, he's going to explain about the perfect rule, where there's differences. So there's the existence of moving or positioning, and the other is the deck leader concept, which... if you're familiar with, Season 3 of the original Yu-Gi-Oh! DM anime, where the characters go into the virtual world, it's kind of like that. They were called Deck Masters there, but here, these things are called Deck Leaders, and, well, they have special abilities, which we'll get into later, hopefully. Yep. So yeah, he's going to offer to give us a practice tool to see... to have us learn how this works, but honestly, I do a better job of explaining this sort of thing, and... besides, the practice tool takes a shit ton of time, so... so yeah, fuck you, Simon. So now he's going to give us... one of 3 decks to choose based off of the name that we input into our game save file. Now, for the name of Dave Ping 243, I have these 3 decks. So, first off, there's the Cruel deck, which is mainly consistent of, like, fiends and spellcasters. And it has the highest summoning level out of these 3. So as you can see, there's the main races. Those are basically the types in Yu-Gi-Oh! So like Fiend, Spellcaster, all that jazz. And above it is the main attributes. So in this case, the Cruel deck has the main attributes of Dark and Wind. Attributes actually do something in this game, but I won't be getting into that until that becomes relevant. Types are more important than anything else, because they actually get into field bonuses, which I'll get into when we get to that. There's the Injection Fairy Lily deck. There's a couple really spicy cards in this one. I will say, for instance, Harpy's Feather Duster is in this deck, so... it kind of works like the card game, like the actual card game, where you blow up spells and traps. Or I guess Magicka traps in this case, because this was back when Yu-Gi-Oh! Was still going by magic cards, I believe. But yeah, overall though, the Ejection Fairy Lily deck is quite weak, even though there's a couple really good cards in there. The other really good card in there that I saw was Mystical Elf. We might see how that card plays out later in the game. But for now, though, those are the main 2 cards to point out of the Ejection Fairy Lily deck, and other than that, it's pretty trash, to be perfectly honest with you. And then there's the Twin-Head Behemoth deck, which focuses on Dragon-type monsters. Now, for this LP, I'm going to be going with either the Cruel deck or the Twin-Head Behemoth deck. Now, I thought about this long and hard. I compared the cards that were actually in both of the decks, and the one I'm going to be going with in the end, is the Twin-Headed Behemoth deck. You'll see why. So yeah, after we have selected our deck, a mysterious guest comes in to crash the party. And the music quiets down. Well, this is Seto Kaiba, or I guess Seto Rosencruz as he's called in this game. And just look at that badass blue eyes white dragon armor, dude. Like, it's like one of the best things in this game, I swear. Like, God. He just looks so cool in that. So yep, this guy is the leader of these Rose Crusaders, and they're looking for the Red Rose cards so that they can wreak havoc. You'll see how. So yeah, C. Rosencruz, I do believe that's Christopher Rosencruz, as I guessed earlier. So yeah, he's come for the Red Rose cards. So yeah, what Seto is trying to do here is that he's trying to create this rose summoning. And there's a reason why it's forbidden. And yeah, so is giving out this whole plan of his to us. So yeah, now Seto is trying to get us onto his side. And now, his argument sounds a little bit more convincing considering that, well, the Yorkists are winning in this war, and well... Yeah, it makes Simon sound like he's being, desperate. So yeah, furthermore, Seto says that he could take us back to our own time period if we join up with him. I don't know, his argument is actually sounding rather convincing compared to yours. Yeah, can't you be so sure, Simon? There's a very loud engine going on in the background. I don't know what that was. Like, a motorcycle? Anyway, so yeah, it's on Simon's side, there's the 8 red rose cards, while on Seto's side, the Rose Crusaders has possession of the 8 white rose cards. So yeah, we could side with either of them, but Seto sounding more convincing. So yeah, how about we decide? Now, you may think with all that build-up, me saying that, like, Seto has the better argument in all this, that you would think I would join up with the Orcus. However, going through with the Red Rose side of the story is actually, well, doing the Red Rose side first, which, like, spoiler alert, you can do the other side after you being the first side that you decided on. And yeah, you can go through with that side after you're done with the first one. So in general, I find the Red Rose side to be easier than the White Rose side. And you do get some better cards out of doing the Red Rose side first, so as much as it pains me, I have to side with the Lancastrians for this one first. Because in general, starting off, it's easier on the Red Rose side. Like, there are easier opponents to deal with. And now Seto is going to leave. Disappointed. So yeah, I will be doing the White Rose side after I go through the Red Rose side. So now we go to Brest in France to meet up with Henry Tudor, aka Yugi, the last Prince of Lancaster. Oh, first a motorcycle engine and now a train? Really? Okay. It seems like there's always something going on outside when I record. Yes, we know that you're Yugi. You're so iconic as the main character of the DM anime. So yeah, basically what's going on here is that Yugi's going and telling us that we need to take out the Rose Crusaders, aka Seto's followers. So there's 7 of them. And then we're going to face off against Seto after the fact. So, yeah. Because Seto actually has the last of the White Rose cards. that we'll need to collect. So yeah, what they're explaining here is that, in order to get a rose card of the opposite color, of the opposing color, you need to have a lower deck cost than your opponent. Basically, deck cost, like, it determines how strong your deck is. And every card has their own deck cost value. So yeah, basically we're going to take out like the powerful figures that are just like assisting the Yorkist army. And so therefore weakening their overall power so that Lancaster can eventually go ahead and defeat the Yorkists. But we actually have to defeat the Rose Crusaders to do that first. So we have two guys to start off here. We have Weevil Underwood, which you should know from the anime, because he's Bug Boy, and Rex Raptor. Yeah, these two are very synonymous with the original anime, because they're basically like comic relief villains that are reoccurring. But yeah, it should be obvious as to what they run. Weevil runs insect monsters, and Rex Raptor runs dinos. Now, I'm going to save really quick, because that was quite a long opening to the game. And how about we check out our deck really quick before I end off the episode, because, yeah... this is going to be kind of a long game, but yeah, as you can see here, our deck leader is Twin-Head Behemoth. Now, it is a second lieutenant, which is the lowest rank you could possibly be for a commander to be a deck leader, basically. Because yeah, as you can see, NCO basically means that they have no rank, and, well, monsters rank up in this game by defeating other monsters in battle, and also doing direct life point damage to the opponent. Which you'll see how that is all done within the next episode, I believe. So yeah, Twin-Head Behemoth. Now, I did say that deck leaders have abilities, but because Twin-Head Behemoth is only a second lieutenant, it doesn't really have any deck leader abilities right now. Now, if I'm able to rank up one of these other dragons and, you know, put them up as the deck leader, because, unless if the monster is a second lieutenant or higher in terms of rank, you cannot put it up in the deck leader slot. Like, the game will just not allow you to. But yeah, starting off, we have a single Kaiser Dragon. This is basically your main beach stick of the Twin-Head Behemoth deck. And then you have stuff like Crawling Dragon, Baby Dragon, Petite Dragon, Sky Dragon, Lesser Dragon, Fairy Dragon. And then you have some of the non-dragons. You have Ideen, I think that's called. Current of Dark Ones is actually pretty useful when this card is flipped face up in battle. The opposing enemy is spellbound for one turn. We'll see how that works in an actual duel, but, for now, though, let's just say that this effect is pretty useful, even though this thing seems to be pretty weak. Secretarian of Secrets. What does this thing do? Reduces an opposing enemy by 300 points when destroyed by battle. That may not seem like much, but attack points are everything in this game, so that might come up useful. Mystic Lamp. It basically strengthens Lord of the Lamp by 700 points when it's flipped face up, which we don't have, so that's kind of irrelevant. So, Sorcerer of the Doomed, oh man, this takes me back. It's basically a 1450 vanilla. Flame Ghost, you may think this is very random for being a zombie monster, but it's actually really useful for one duel in the game, but we won't be able to use this card basically until the White Rose side, where there's one duelist in particular that really likes sea terrain. But, for that one duel, Flame Ghost is actually really useful, and I highly recommend it. In the actual card game, this monster is a shitty vanilla fusion monster, so, yeah. There's obviously differences when it comes to monsters in this game compared to the actual card game. And yeah, here's all the rest of the monsters. Wall of Illusion is actually really nice because it actually returns an enemy monster into the opponent's deck for reshuffling when this card is flipped face up in battle. It's kind of similar to how it works in the actual card game, except it just bounces the monster to the hand in that. But here it just shuffles the monster straight back into the deck, which is fantastic. Like, Wall of Illusion was really good back in LLB format. If you don't know what LLB stands for, it's Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon. The very first core booster set to ever be released in Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, Wall of Illusion was not released within that booster set, but there was another product that was released a little bit after that one, where it had Wall of Illusion, and that was with the Yugi and Kaiba starter decks back in the day. Where I forget which one had Wall of Illusion, but one of them did, and it was a godsend because it basically meant that no normal summonable level 4 monster could get over Wall of Illusion because it has 1850 defense, and the strongest level 4 normal summonable monster at the time was La Jin, which also came in the starter decks. Yeah, Wall of Illusion was really good way back in the day when it came to the actual card game. So, I may want to keep Wall of Illusion just for that. Like, well, just for the 1850 defense alone. But this effect here is pretty nice. And let's see, Psychic Kappa. Whenever damage is inflicted to life points in battle, the damage amount is reduced to 0. So it's one of those. It's one of those monsters. There's quite a few monsters like that in the game where they have that effect. Psychic Kappa is just one of them. Or Psychic Kappa, excuse me, is one of them. Let's see, Firegrass. Ooh, maybe I could do some fusion shenanigans with that. That'll get me into a mechanic I'll talk about in the next episode because fusions work differently than they actually do in the card game because there's no polymerization card in this game. Which is a bit weird, but yeah, you fuse monsters in a different way. And then we have one copy of Mountain, which transforms the surrounding two-space area into mountain terrain. We'll get into terrains next time. Dark Piercing Light. It flips all enemy cards on the field face up. This is nice if you want to see what your opponent has. So yeah, I would say it's a pretty nice card. And Dragon Treasure is a power-up spell, or I guess magic card in this case, because this was still back when spell cards were called magic cards. It powers up your dragon and sea serpent monsters by 300, not 300, 500, excuse me. It's very difficult for me to read this. So yeah, we have quite a few dragons, but that's the only dragon treasure we have, so that kind of sucks. I think you could get another dragon treasure from the passwords thing, which I'll get into right about now. House of Adhesive Tape. Disposal trap that triggers against a monster with the attack less of attack 1,000 or below, and destroys it. Not very good. Because since attack points are everything, it's rare that you'll see a monster that has less than 1,000 attack. Like, you'll see monsters with over 1,000 attack, like, all the freaking time, so I wouldn't say that is really a good card. And that's the only trap in our deck, so yikes. Yeah, we kind of need to fix up this deck with something. Now, there are quite a few powerful cards you can get off of the password system, but there are only going to be two that I want in particular, which I'll show off in the next episode after I get them off screen. But yeah, that's basically an overview of how the Twin-Headed Behemoth deck starts off in Duelists of the Roses. So yeah, and right here, this is the chest. Basically, this is where your surplus of cards go into. Like, any card that is not in your deck, it will remain here, so yeah. Just like in the card game, you can only have up to 3 copies of any card in your deck. They're still banless, obviously, because this is just a video game. An old one at that, so yeah. So I think that's going to do it for this episode, this first episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duels of the Roses. So next time, I will show off the 2 specific password cards that I want from the password system, and then I'll duel either Weevil Underwood or Rex Raptor, and show off the mechanics of this game. Until then, take care and goodbye.